it okay if I sit right here for the ring?
Yeah, you sit there for a minute, you're good. So what he's actually figured out is we originally thought this was like a sandstone because of the color and the age and kind of the damage it's taken. But he found out today, I guess, that it's actually just cast concrete.
Stained with rust.
Yeah, stained with rust because of the amount of corrosion in the tank had just turned it. It's actually a quite pleasant color. But as you can see, like these are the spouts that water comes out of. These have taken pretty substantial damage. A lot of this has to be rebuilt. So when we go back to put it in bronze, it should be exactly like it was placed originally. So
the highlight of the life at KU for students to get in that tank, and then when they get in that tank, they push against that column, so it's all that pressure on the panels of that thing, and the seams were breaking, water was gushing out. It's looked terrible for quite a while now, so it's high time it get completely redone. Yeah. This one is almost like a reconstruction because Ashir is rebuilding the entire fountain centerpiece, which originally was a combination of lead and stone, kind of an odd combination. And, you know, little by little, the pieces have gone missing. There was a pineapple finial on top, and there were 4 spouts that spewed water into that upper small bowl, and then that bowl spilled down into the tank. And all that's missing. So he's taken the parts and pieces that remain, and he'll cast new pieces, and then we've designed the replacement pieces that have been long gone. So he'll create the whole thing in bronze, which it's our plan that this will be a lot more sustainable.
So this is actually the entire basin broken down to one pallet. Very manageable pieces at this point. But all of these were originally cast out of lead, and the weight is very substantial. Each panel is about 100 pounds, so the whole basin was about 800 pounds, maybe a little more. That's probably why it took 5 of us to move it. But on this, we're gonna break this down into digestible little bits for the mold making process. This top trim will be its own piece. The bottom trim will be its own piece, and then we'll utilize bronze plate for fabrication to get all of our flat surfaces, and then we'll lift all of this original detail out through a ceramic shell process. We'll try to take some of the historical damage out of this because it will come again in the next 100 years as kids get in and out of the fountain and shenanigans happen at KU. I'd like to talk about this mold a little bit.
Okay.
And how you got there.
Yeah, pull up that panel. This is a trim that I remade off of the originals over here. Mapped it out, took some measurements, accounted for the shrink because it's going to shrink when we remake it in wax. It's going to shrink once again once it's cast in metal. Threw together all the measurements and recreated by drawing a tool over some hot wax, making it the same way like an old plaster worker would have done. When doing the cornicing in a plaster room, they would have actually scraped it with a die just like this. So I made a whole bunch of that, and then I laid it out on another panel, and then took a mold of this, and that's my master mold. I can make as many of those as I need, and onto those I will put the original unaltered detail from the fountain. And that way each panel will come out exactly the same. It'll pretty much go together perfectly without having any variation in the panels because they were so damaged from being outside and climbed over and beat up and frozen and who knows what else out there. I just made this out of a piece of that trim that I already made and kind of matched it by eye. Made it oversized to compensate for the shrink. This one's handmade, but I will take a mold of it and make 8 of them eventually. Kind of the whole idea is we're gonna cast all 8 panels with their individual detail and then put them together and then trim them out with the top and bottom trim, and these guys just how you do trim out a room.
And that's going to allow us to make the panels at not only the correct size, but to actually make the octagon tank the size that we've given drawings for, so that the concrete contractor can go ahead and make their forms.
They can lay out a precise octagon, because the last one was not very precise. It was just kind of dropped in place, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, and this one is needs to be a little more precise because, again, they're the same concept with that lower trim. They're trying to not give any footholds to the students to get up into the tank. So the sides of the octagon that are below the cast panels will be flush with the bottom of the trim. We're just gonna make sure it's not gonna fall.
Fall over, yeah.
Looks all right.
Which it isn't.
You sure you don't want a hand?
Yeah, once I get over there, we can.
I'll give you a hand. To flip
Yeah,
it.
just to flip it, because I'll set it down on that back edge, because that.
Yeah.
I got it. I totally got it.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Oh, let me get some underneath.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm ready when you are.
Hold on. Let's clean this. Come on down. Keep it coming, keep it coming. A little faster. You guys all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Keep going, keep going. Good.
God, that tastes like Oops.
Where's the hammer? Cardboard. Okay.
If you're gonna say hang on, you gotta say let's go. Yay!
It looks pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's a little bit of weird. I think
I-
it's cracked right here. That's all doable. That's
I'd
all
say
doable.
that's doable. Well, take it.
You're like smoking right now. Let's give it a minute, huh? Okay.
Survey says. Was this part of the sculpture? Had to have been. Maybe not.
No, it was.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like that same thing's happening in the bottom corner. That was part of that, right? Or did that?
Yeah, that was part of it.
Oh, okay.
Slower pour hotter metal. Oh, is this shrinking because it's not that hot? So it's cooling right there? Well, cool. Yeah, it's going in the right direction. We can work with that. We can work with it.